I know. The thing is, I don't write about happy topics, so I'm the wrong person. I'm like, oh yay, it sounds like right off my alley. So I'm going to ask you the first question. I guess I'm going to ask you is because I was looking on my shelf. So I moved. As the listeners know, I'm in the middle of a divorce, and I moved 2 years ago. And I of all the things, so I winnowed out a bit, but your book Melancholy Girl sits on my shelf. And so how did that come to be? Because it's still here all these years later. And I have no idea how it came to be. I have one and it's inscribed to me. I texted you the picture. But what's the story behind that?
Wow. Well, gosh, this was a labor of love. This was really the beginning of my art career, I think. It was really the beginning of putting something out there for people to read, for people to look at, for people, just off my desk into someone else's hands. And I had always been writing poetry and little short stories and things like that since I was a child. It was um, a way for me to sort of mediate what was going on in
Mm-hmm.
myself, within myself, and my reaction to the outside world. And that's been a theme throughout my creative life. Um, so, oh boy, when was that even done? 2000.
I think 2000. I was just looking at it. So I literally just opened it today because I was going to ask you. Well, there's an inscription to me, but
Mhm.
I think, oh, it has a dedication to my mom, Deborah Ann, and Valerie, the Believers.
Mhm.
I had,
Yes, those were all the people that were supporting me behind this, and
oh, it says
two
2002. Yeah.
2002, but it was probably I probably started it in 2000, 2001, and it was an accumulation of a lot of poems that had been written prior to that, just throughout my life. I kept a giant folder. A few things had been published, but I was never my intention to, create a book of poetry.
Okay.
And and then my son and I got in a terrible car accident, and he was about 2.5. We were driving up from Los Angeles to San Francisco, and um, the tire blew, and
Wow.
right before the tire blew, the driver was having issues or something. Or my son was having issues in the back seat of the car. So I crawled from the front seat into the back seat and took him out of his
Hmm.
car seat and put him on my lap to nurture him, to coddle him, right?
Right.
As we're going north on the 5. And all of a
Right.
sudden there were a few bumps. The car felt a little off, and my friend who was driving, Virginia at the time, screamed, "Oh my God." And the next thing I knew, I heard screeching and crashing. And I guess in that moment, I put Max on the ground of the car, the floor of the car, the floor of the back seat of
Wow.
the car, and covered my body
Right.
with them. And the next thing I know, we woke up in a field 75 feet away from the vehicle.
Oh
And
my gosh.
according to viewers, I flew out of the car. The top was ripped off because it was, spiraling down the freeway, and
Hmm.
then off the freeway and into a fence that I guess, I don't know, farmland or something like that.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the way, the top was ripped off, and we flew out of the back seat because, of course, we weren't wearing.
Buckled in. Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't buckled in, and I think that saved his life.